CEO of the Grassmarket Community Project. The Grassmarket Community Project supports vulnerable adults from a wide range of backgrounds and experiences through a wide range of referral processes, including self-referral, with a view to supporting them into connecting to themselves, others, and to their community. We are looking at or working on a partnership where we are upcycling furniture. The Edinburgh Remakery has a long track record in upcycling furniture. We have focused, and one of our social enterprises is woodwork, upcycling wood and making furniture, and we're keen to develop this partnership whereby we can bring our skills working with furniture restoration and construction into the Edinburgh Remakery's experience and skills in upcycling and selling furniture. So yeah, essentially that we're looking to establish a furniture upcycling arm of the two organisations that serves Edinburgh and wider. Basically, I've been a long-term supporter personally of the work of the Edinburgh Remakery, and I was very involved in its early stages as an organisation, and giving some pro bono support to the organisation. I've always identified personally with the values and the mission of the organisation, and the Grassmarket Community Project, unsurprisingly then, has been on part of their supply chain and worked in partnership with them in terms of purchasing all our IT equipment for our IT classes that we deliver. And last year we worked very closely over trying to reduce the social, digital rather, exclusion. Many of our members, we call the people that we support in the Grassmarket Community Project our members, and our members we were providing them with IT devices, phones and laptops, and that we source these from Edinburgh Remakery. So we've always had that overlap, that shared vision of in terms of creating impact, reducing carbon, and supporting the most vulnerable and the most digitally excluded. So it very much came about because the two organisations were working on some joint projects very informally. As I just mentioned, we're also both members of the local SEN. We're actually both trustees, board members of the local SEN in Edinburgh's social enterprise network. And we just increasingly found ourselves aligned in terms of what we do and who we support, but also in a seeking to create a market or serve the market that's out there. We believe it's out there in terms of the purchasing of the upcycled furniture. So again, it was a combination of our own values as leaders and our own organisations in terms of our mission and wider social and environmental objectives becoming so closely aligned that we were very keen that we weren't to replicate or create two different organisations that were trying to achieve the same thing, and that we were far more likely to do it well if we played to the strengths of each other's organisations and worked in partnership to form something which, like I say, can get the best of both those organisations and create a much more achievable and sustainable, solid, foundation for this new organisation and tapping into that new market. I've already alluded to the fact that it's a partnership. We're not looking for either one organisation to have a particular lead. for any one particular organisation to be a subsidiary or supplying or working for the other. So it's an equal partnership, but based very much on respecting and recognising the unique contribution that each organisation is making to the consortium. As I said earlier, playing to the strengths of the and the historical, the groundwork that each organisation has done in formulating this consortium is really important. It's recognising that the Edinburgh Remakery have really good evidence and really good experience of already working in that area of actually upcycling and selling furniture. So it makes sense if they're a bit more of a lead on that. And we have considerable experience on repairs and renovations, particularly of older furniture, as well as making furniture. So we've got that sort of area of skills, and the partnership model works really well for recognizing each organization's contribution. It also, we very much hope, will avoid any kind of difficulties in and around branding of our own individual charities and organizations. It keeps staff and board members very much on board with the direction of travel, because nobody feels that they're being sidelined or swallowed up or dominated by the other. So yeah, so it's the best model for us. But I think it's also recognizing that the detail in the model will vary as we move through distinct stages of the development of the consortium. So at the moment, we're very much looking at shared premises, but it is the looking at the shared premises. Once we secure long-term shared premises, the model might have to change a little bit in terms of certain areas of responsibility. There might be one organisation of the two that take on more of a lead or more of a legal responsibility for some aspect of those shared premises. It might not be that case. It might be completely new premises, in which case there might be a shared very much an equal partnership in that regard as well. So we're open. Both organisations, I believe, are open. Like the Grassmarket, myself wouldn't want to work with LA and the Remakery if we didn't feel that they work in a similar way of openness, but reassuring their stakeholders. So we're open to adapting that model, but at the moment that's where we're at with that. We haven't formalised a legal structure or constituted a whole new legal entity, but it may well be that, especially if this partnership, this consortium, leads to a growth of activity, that we feel that the sensible way forward would be to constitute a trading subsidiary that's owned by both organisations. But we're not at that stage yet. This partnership model suits us where we're at in our development with this. Well, massively, as far as I'm concerned, and as far as we're concerned. I mean, we both organisations upcycle, and I think that's really important. And we've always contributed to the reduction of carbon and moving closer towards becoming waste zero. It's in what we do. And this is that's one of the reasons we're pursuing the partnership. Obviously, it's because we see an opportunity to do more and to do it well. I think the city, the capital of Scotland, really will benefit from two organisations with the strength that we have and the expertise that we have in coming together and forming this partnership. It will make a really important contribution to ensuring that there's capacity within the social enterprise and sort of upcycling sector to deliver on a big scale. And by deliver on a big scale, I mean, you know, upcycle more furniture and sell that furniture and turn any profit from the selling of that furniture into more upcycling projects that will contribute even further. You know, it's that same kind of added value that both organizations enjoy from being a social enterprise and also having making high quality products. So we will tend to generate income for both our organizations from this venture, and that will be turned into either funding new projects within their own charity that meet even more, make an even bigger contribution to the Scottish Government's targets, or actually subsidising or supporting initiatives such as changes in attitudes, or people feeling more able to repair at home, or you know, to reuse or repair rather their own you know, whether that's technology or whether that's in furniture restoration. But that's certainly where we'll be putting, both organizations will be putting any profits that are generated from this consortium will be just put back into more community-based activities. So yeah, it's very much could be making a significant contribution towards the Scottish Government's targets. It's all about trust. I can't emphasize that enough. And if you, if like us, there's very clearly mutual respect from the outset of the respective organisations. It just makes everything so much easier because there's no questions around people's intentions. In the form of myself and Elaine, but also in terms of the board. I spent time with Elaine's board. Elaine spent time with my board, both as individuals, some individuals that have taken a particular interest, but also as a group. And it's so important that work of, because it's just, well, I might have a really good feeling about the partnership. I might have networked or spent time with Elaine and some of her team. I might have seen how good the quality of their services and products that we purchase for to support our own organisation in terms of their IT. But I've still got to sell that, if you like, to my own board members and to my team, staff team, who might not have had as much experience as I have. So it's really important to build that trust across the whole organisation, so that when we meet as a group, because we've met as SMT, we've met as staff team, you know, Elaine's team and my team, we've met with facilitators, we've met without facilitators for sometimes hours, sometimes a whole, you know, half day. And it's really important to do all that groundwork, just building relationships across the whole organisation, so that every level of my organisation and every level of Elaine's organisation are in agreement that this is a really good partnership, because it's built on fundamental trust. No one feels that the other organisation, as I said earlier, is looking like to outgrow us or outgrow the other, or going to dominate the other, or is going to use the other in any kind of underhand, or, you know, less than, you know, well, less than positive and less than about supporting our communities and making a difference to people's lives and making a difference to the environment. So everyone's in agreement. That's my experience, but that takes work. So that's my main bit of advice, is to do the groundwork, spend time, not just yourself, but different people in your organization with the prospective partners. Spend that time informally, as much as facilitated days where you're working on maybe some key tasks, or such as putting together you know, an agreement between the two, a formal agreement. Spend that time informally as well, just getting to know each other and becoming comfortable, and really appreciating where the other is coming from. That's my first bit of advice. And my other bit of advice is take your time. I suppose by taking your time, it allows you to do that stuff that I was just talking about. But also, like I say, I'm open, as is Elaine, to the partnership agreement and the need for legal structures later on, we're not rushing into anything. I think that's something that we gained from our work with P4P, actually, was initially Elaine, the kind of entrepreneurial spirited kind of people that we are, were very like, let's do this, you know. Well, once we started speaking to Neil and the team, we got a bit more slowing things right down, or just asking a few questions about how quickly we need things to happen, and then recognizing that there's a lot of merit in allowing spaces to explore, and the spaces to invite and include people at different levels of your organization, in just slowing down. Slowing down is the way forward. Will take longer. We still haven't secured, jointly shared owned premises, and we still haven't got a formally signed agreement. But it's well worth it, because when we do, we're really fit for what we want to do. But also, we've taken everyone with us every step of the way. Staff, team, volunteers, members, beneficiaries, and board members. And I think that's really important. So that's the two main things: is just do the informal stuff and build in and develop trust, and just slow down. Take your time, and do all the groundwork. Even if it takes a bit longer, it's seriously worth it, because we've sustained over this last year and a half, since we begun to look at this partnership, we've sustained a really positive involvement with each other's organizations and a commitment to making this happen. And that's because we've slowed right down.